What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Eager Podcast, Episode 2, The Life of Kid Luca.
Yeah,
Today
my
we
Instagram
are
handle.
I've been waiting for this one.
we are interviewing our good friend Luke, and we're
Yeah.
gonna find out everything about his life, all in 1 hour or more.
Everything.
So, Luke,
Absolutely everything. Yeah, what's up, man?
you're here. We're doing this
Back again.
podcast.
Yep.
First off, let's take it all the way back. Where were you born?
I was born in Bellevue, Wisconsin. Like right here,
Nice.
Bellin Hospital. June
Well-
15th, 2001.
You're young. You're a young boy like me.
Yep,
That's lit.
2001.
So you grew up here?
Yeah, I've been in the same house my whole life.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I haven't moved once.
Wow. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So are your parents together?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
What was your sort of like your relationship with them in your childhood growing up?
It was always good, nothing too crazy. It's kind of developed with time, though. It's one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
We were never really that close, and that kind of affects a lot of our relationship. But I mean, not in a horrible way, but it does affect it. But as a kid, it was fine. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
You have siblings?
Yeah, I have one older brother.
What was your relationship with him?
It was good, but he moved out like right as he turned 18, and I was like probably 14 or 13 at the time. So he kind of like, I don't know, he just like went off and did his own thing when I was like 13. So we kind of lost our connection a little bit. You know what I mean?
So you were
So
like
we don't
on your
really,
own.
yeah, we don't really talk that much. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. And
Like even if he comes over or something, it's just kind of like awkward.
Dang, okay. Yeah, that's because like he's how older than you is he?
He's like 4.5, 5 years older than me.
And that makes a big difference. Like for
Yeah.
me, like my siblings moved out. Well, they never moved out. That's the thing. They're the same. Like they're 5 years older than me, but
Mhm.
they were always in the same household.
Yeah, so if he still lived with me, I know our relationship would be like way different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he moved out right away, so we kind of lost that touch. And I don't know, we just haven't like done anything since then to like rebuild it,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's not like that big of a deal, you know what I mean? Like it's my brother, but
Yeah.
either way, it's my brother, so like we'll talk eventually, and it'll be good, but that just has to happen.
Do you have a lot of family here?
Yeah, pretty much my whole family is here. We don't really do anything though. Like, we don't really go to any family events or anything,
Mm-hmm.
because like we don't really do it. Like none of the families have any like gatherings or nothing like that.
Looking back, what was there anything that really did push you towards music?
Just kind of like my own interests, honestly. Like, I don't know, I was just kind of by myself a lot because that's what I like to do. I just kind of like to be by myself. That's when I can really think and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just kind of picked music. I was just interested in it. Like, I was always listening to something like the radio or even like Spotify at the time when that first started coming out. So, I was really into like Ed Sheeran because he was on the radio. So, like, and then I got a
Nice.
guitar. I got a guitar too, so I started like trying to learn the songs and stuff. But then, yeah, around that time, I got like super into Green Day. I think a lot of people will remember that.
Oh yes. So like at that time, did you have like an influence that sort of pushed you towards pursuing music?
I just really enjoyed it. Like there was always like a feeling I got from it that kind of was unmatched by anything else. And that's really what I went after as a kid, especially. And now I go after it because it just makes me happy.
So like what age do you think you really realized that music was like your shit?
Well, I don't know. I never like thought of it as a career because I was like 14 when I started getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, it was kind of more like a dream for me. Like as a kid, you think about it, but you can't really imagine how it could happen. And then as you get older, you kind of have to like plot and think about how you're going to make it work and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, as a kid, I didn't really think about any of that. It was just kind of something I enjoyed doing. Something that I could actually pursue just as a hobby. Just getting better at playing guitar every day, or maybe like writing songs and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe I would say probably around like 16 or 17 to answer your question about when I like thought it was for me. Probably around there, I thought like this is the only thing I can see myself doing. Like, but even now, like it's not successful for me.
Yeah.
You know, like it takes a long time to manifest that kind of stuff. Um, so
Uh,
I'm working on it, but it's not like I don't put all the weight on top of it because then I just like stress myself out and I can't get anything done. So like I have a job and stuff obviously. Um like on the side I'll work, and then like right now I'm going to school. I'm doing a degree. So yeah, it just kind of takes some of the pressure off of it so that I can actually pursue it without like relying on it. You know what I mean?
yeah, and around that age isn't that when you started the good old No Outlet band?
Yeah, yeah, that was probably 16, I would say. 15 or 16.
So how did
We
that
started that band.
how did that come about?
Dude, that was crazy. I don't know, cuz I knew Nick. I didn't really know him like as a person. I never talked to him or anything like that.
What?
But I just knew of him.
Yeah.
We used to talk like in, I would say probably middle school or elementary school maybe, I can't remember. But we used to talk but then in high school we just stopped talking. And one day, like sophomore year, he just like said what's up in the hallway or something. Like it was that
Oh
simple.
my god.
And then I hit him up on Instagram or something. I was like, I heard you play drums, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. I'm trying to start a band. He's like, oh, yeah, let's do it, or so. I don't know, whatever. Basically,
They're just really simple.
dude. Yeah, I mean that aspect of it. I don't even remember how the fuck did I meet Kyle.
I thought y'all were just like really good friends and just thought to like start that.
No, I don't remember how we met Kyle. I can't even lie. I haven't thought about that in so long. I can't even remember how we met Kyle, but somehow
Wow.
Kyle got in the band.
That's crazy.
Dude, that was an awesome time of my life.
Yeah, I remember y'all
I
had
mean,
that one
it's just a good
show.
ass memory. You
Yeah,
know
it
what
was
I
good
mean?
memories because y'all had that one show. It was in your basement, I think.
In my basement, yeah.
I went to record it. That was good times.
Dude, there's so many people at that show.
I just remember
Like
everyone.
I can't believe that many people came to my house, like in my
Yeah,
basement
that was
to see
insane.
us play. It was crazy, bro, because we practiced in there like every day.
I've never
You know what I
been
mean?
a part of something like that. It was so like just like you see that shit on like fucking TV and shit, but then you're in
Dude,
a
it was
basement
awesome.
and one of your
Yeah,
friends is a fucking rock star.
dude, but it sounded like shit. That's the only problem.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I was never
Dude, that
into
was
that
that
kind of
was literally
music.
the first show I ever played
Hmm.
ever. That was the first show we ever played. That was the first show any of us had ever played.
Wow.
It's crazy, and it was in my basement, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. And like, there was so much feedback, bro, on the mics and shit. It was so crazy, but I mean, we pulled it off. It worked.
I don't even remember what the footage went with that. I don't even know if I still have it. I think I gave it to
Nick or
Nick,
something,
and he just like never
probably.
did anything with it. Oh no!
Sounds
I
about
gave
right.
him my USB. It was a little pink USB I used to have, and he kept it. I was like, like just get it off and then give it back to me. That USB is still in his possession till this day. Fucking 3 years ago.
Dude, that's funny as fuck.
Nick, if you're listening, I want that shit back, bro.
Dude, yeah, but anyway, that was a really good time, especially that show. But there's a lot of shows that we played just kind of in the dark. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
nobody we knew was there. We didn't know anybody that was there or anything like that. We were just kind of playing shows wherever we could,
Hmm.
which is hard in Green Bay. You know, there's like nothing. Like And especially at that age, we were like 16, 17, so we couldn't play any bar. We
Yeah.
couldn't even get in to like watch shows. We couldn't even go to shows because they were all at bars.
Fuck.
So we had to play like one time some guy rented out a church and we played in the church. That was weird. That was cool though. Rock and Roll Land, it's like a record shop,
Mhm.
downtown Green Bay or like West Side Green Bay. I played there once. Where else did we play? We played in Sheboygan at this coffee shop. That was pretty cool. Some guy, one of the guys there was he produced like Black Flag, which is like a pretty big, or it was a pretty big band in the '90s,
Mhm.
punk band. So that was pretty cool. That guy was there, but
Wow.
yeah, nothing really happened of it. Like we got recorded in a guy's basement. That was pretty cool. But it was like summer, so the basement was like 100 degrees. And he was recording it on a cassette. So we had like 20 minutes.
Oh my god. Is this the 90s or some shit?
Dude, no, it was not the 90s. It was like 2017. No, but we were in there and he's
Yeah.
like, "All right, this cassette has 20 minutes. So you
Oh my
guys got
God.
3 songs and you have like 2 takes at each of them."
Wow.
So that kind of sucks. So it's like 100 degrees. We're in the basement. We have 2 takes on like each song. And yeah, basically we just kept fucking up. But then we finally ended up with like some finished products.
Mhm.
And we got a cassette with 3 songs on it.
Wow. I mean, it's a
Dude.
hard life, like a small band, because there's just so many fucking bands, especially in our
Yeah,
area.
the
Like,
best part is we took the first show that we had the cassettes. We took them to Sheboygan, and like it was this big like announcement, or like basically we released like a split EP. So
Okay.
it's like 2 bands on the same cassette.
oh, okay.
So we were on the backside, I think. Yeah, the backside. We were on like the B side of the cassette, basically. And the dude, like, we each had our own box of cassettes. Like, both bands had their own box of cassettes, and they sold like a couple of ours and like pretty much all of ours, and took all the money for it.
Oh.
And they didn't split the money,
Fuck.
bro. Yeah. So
What the
then,
fuck?
not only that, but like everybody bought the cassettes out of their box, and our box was sitting right next to it. And like it's not like they were labeled or anything. You know what I'm saying? So everybody bought the like ones on the left, basically, and that was theirs. So we didn't get like any money for it.
It's the
Dude,
life
we
of
might
a
have got
band.
like $10 or something. But
Yes.
it's not like I don't know. We never got paid for any show.
Wow.
Actually, we got like $50 for like this birthday party, but it was not that. I don't know. It wasn't worth it.
I would have had y'all at my birthday party.
That would be funny.
I just didn't have a birthday party when you guys had a band. But like,
Dude, yeah, but that kind of fizzled out because
yeah, I was gonna ask,
um,
how did that all come to an end?
it was just kind of like we put a lot of stress on it. Like we were trying to release an album by ourselves. We had like 15 songs that we had to cut down to like 12 or something. And we like wrote this whole album and had it all finished, but we just couldn't record it.
Oh.
And like we were trying to record it and like it kept sounding like shit. And we had no way to like do it because you have to record live instruments and that's super hard. So we kind of just lost interest in it.
Wow.
And all of us just kind of separated, like started doing our own thing. And that's pretty much it. We just kind of decided that it wasn't worth it anymore. Like we could have been a cover band, realistically, and made like maybe $100.
What really is a cover band?
Dude, you just play other people's songs. So like the song everybody knows, you play it,
Oh, okay.
and then everybody sings along.
Is that allowed? Is that copyright or some shit?
No, dude, that's like the biggest music industry for bands is
Wow.
cover bands. Like, dude, there's a Pink Floyd. You know Pink Floyd, right? I know Joey does.
No, I do not.
Hell yeah. You don't know Pink Floyd, bro. We gotta get you educated.
Oh shit.
Anyway, bro, there's a Pink Floyd cover band that sells out the Meyer like every year. The Meyer Theater downtown.
Yeah.
The whole theater sold out just for the cover band. Like they just play Pink fuck, this is so hard to say. They just play Pink Floyd songs. But anyway, I didn't want to do that because like, there's no point in that. I'm not playing my own shit like that's original to me. What's the point?
Yeah, like you want your own like identity,
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know.
personality, and all
It's just,
that.
but that's just what felt natural to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure these people who are doing the cover band thing don't like think about it that hard or anything. They just like playing music, which is fine. You know, it's just all about what comes naturally to you for music anyway.
So nowadays, what are you doing with music nowadays? Like, what's your goal? What kind of things are
I've
you
been just
doing?
producing a lot lately. Um, Producing beats of all genres, pretty much. R&B, like hip hop, trap, all sorts of shit. Pretty much whatever. Like that's just what I've been working on is just producing beats in general.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to work with melodies and like putting that on top of it, but that's like a whole other yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I don't know. That's just what I've been up to, just mainly practicing, getting better at what I'm doing. I've been thinking about making another lo-fi tape.
I love the lo-fi shit, man. Keep making that.
Yo,
Bro.
Louis.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it
That's my
because
Hmm.
I went really hard on like trap beat making to the
Ooh.
point where like I can make like a really good trap beat, but I just have no purpose to do that right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have nobody's like wanting to buy my beats or anything, which just feels weird. I don't know. I would rather just give them out for free and see what people can do with them, which I might start doing for trap beats. But I don't really want to be known as a trap producer because it's not really my main genre. Lo-fi, I love lo-fi. Um,
That's what's up.
got kind of burnt out on the beats and like trap beats and shit, so I'm thinking about doing another lo-fi tape. Um, Probably like 15 minutes or something. You remember Kong? You know Kong, right?
Yes.
I linked up with him the other day. We were just hanging out, and it wasn't the other day. It was like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, he was telling me about how he loves lo-fi and shit. So I showed him like my shit, and yeah, so yeah, that's another reason I want to make another one
Bro,
for Kong,
lo-fi,
bro.
lo-fi for me is just like, that's the only way I ever get shit done is when I'm listening to that shit.
Yeah, you study with it.
I get so fucking focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Like that
dude,
doesn't
that's
happen
crazy.
with anything else.
Because what Kong told me is like the only other person that's actually that I've ever like met that actually like listens to lo-fi the same as me, which is like he's like there's so much emotion in it and just like takes you away
Oh
to like
yeah,
this whole other place.
I feel that
Like
too.
I don't know if you just close your eyes and listen to it. Like for me anyway,
Yeah.
like it just takes me away to a whole other place, like wherever I am. So I think that's awesome.
No,
Like
I definitely agree with
if I
that.
can, and that's all I want to do. Like with my music, like you talk about like what I want my name to be and stuff. I just want people to like feel the music, you know?
Yeah.
I want somebody to feel something from it cuz that's to me the best musical experience is like when you can really relate to it and feel something with the person who's making the music.
I like that.
So
It
yeah.
just takes you away. Like if you're going through something, if you're stressed out, like that kind of music just takes you away. You can just
Yeah.
relax.
I don't know. Or like even if you're in like a really good mood, like I can be in a good mood listen to like a more happy lo-fi song like maybe like in a major key or something
Hmm.
and like I don't know, it'll just make me feel like euphoric, I guess is the best word I can use.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of makes you like feel like you're floating.
I don't know, I wanted to get more out of you for like in terms of like family.
Okay.
Um,
There's really nothing there, bro. I can't lie.
that's I don't
What do you want to know? That's a better question.
know. Just to get to know how you became the person you are, and a lot of that comes from like how you were raised and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
A lot of that honestly I haven't even figured out yet, to be honest with you.
It's like, to me, it sounds like you were just left alone a lot. So like this kind of shit that you just like raised yourself in a way, maybe.
Well, I don't know. It's part my fault too. Like, yeah, I mean, you talk about relationships and stuff. When things started getting weird there for me, I kind of shut myself off from everybody because that was like my way of. I don't know. I feel better when I'm alone.
Okay.
Like I don't know if it's anxiety or what the deal is really, but like I know I have social anxiety, but that's a different thing. But just like general anxiety being around other people. Um, I don't know. It doesn't affect me like that much, but it's still there. So like when I'm alone, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that kind of shaped that too, with me just kind of shutting off and stuff, and just being alone all the time. Like I could have just went out, like came out of my room and like had like or like watched TV with my parents or whatever they were doing. I could have just been a part of. Like it's not like it's not like they shut me out, but I just kind of didn't have a connection with them. So when I was going through stuff, I just kind of like dealt with it on my own, and
Did,
that's really just how I got here. You know.
so when you were going through stuff, did you like ever talk to your family about it, or is that literally just all you dealt with
No,
on your own?
honestly, it was pretty much a secret to them.
Okay.
Like pretty much everything. Um, like whatever happened in like my relationship, like we even like my first girlfriend, like we broke up for like probably like 2 months or something. And I didn't say anything to my parents about it. Like
Wow.
they would ask me questions about it, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's all good," shit like that,
Uh
just
huh.
because I didn't want to bring it up. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird. Like that's what I find about myself. I'm trying to change that, but I just think that's so weird that I did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I get it in a sense because I was like closer to my parents, but I never really like told them everything because there's just a sense of like, I don't know, like weirdness. Like you just want to keep them out of that,
yeah,
of your
kind of.
life.
Yeah, especially that. I mean, I was like 14, so
Yeah.
that was also weird too. Like talking to my parents about that kind of stuff because that's like right at the like peak of puberty and shit like that. So, um, yeah, that definitely affected it too.
Did you learn
But
about like sex and stuff through like school or like online, or like did your parents ever talk to you about that type of shit?
I don't know if I kind of just I don't know. I feel like it's kind of common sense. Like I kind of just knew. You know what I mean? Like as a boy, like
I
as a
guess.
young boy, you just kind of all of a sudden start getting attracted to women. Well, that's how it was for me anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I can only speak for myself, but yeah, I just started getting attracted to women like naturally. Like I don't know. I always thought the girls in my like class were cute and shit like that, like in fourth grade and shit like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
fifth grade. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that girl's pretty. Like, oh, she's cute. You know.
Yeah.
But just like that, and it just kind of developed as it went on, as I got older. Um, yeah, I don't know, just kind of came naturally. They never really explained anything to me because I didn't really need to be like told anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even with the computers and shit, obviously I found out on my own eventually.
Nowadays you just type in like sex when you're like 12. You're like, holy shit,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what that is. What the
yeah. You're just
fuck?
sitting there like mesmerized, like in a
Yeah.
bad way, probably because you're so
Probably
young.
you're too young at that
That's
point.
but yeah, that's not what I did. But yeah, yeah, it just kind of happened naturally for me. I don't know.
I know that your parents weren't like involved a whole ton, but do you think that your parents might have had anything to do with your interest in music?
Yeah, for sure. My dad's always been really into music. My mom not really at all, to be honest. But my dad, my whole dad's side of the family, really, because his dad, my grandpa, was like a musician. That's what he did for a living and everything. Um, he would like travel around in like I think he had like a van or something like that,
Way.
and play shows everywhere. But
That's dope.
I mean, he made a lot of
Ooh,
money from it. Like
and
he had a new Lincoln every year,
Damn.
damn, all right.
which is crazy. Yeah, like I don't know, he didn't have a lot of savings, but he had a lot of money.
Obviously.
So it's not like
Wow.
that. It's not like I have like a bunch of old money or something. Like I'm
Yeah.
super rich, but no, he didn't have a lot of savings. He just had a lot of money.
That's really cool.
So Yeah, so he did that for a living, but it kind of negatively affected my dad because he had a sister, and then so he's at home with the sister and the mom, and the sister was like super spoiled. So
Uh,
he didn't like he really like looked up to his dad and shit like that, but he was just never around because he was always playing shows and stuff. So that kind of affected him.
okay.
So he okay, my parents really don't support my music at all. They like it. They think it's cool that I do it, but every time I talk to them about it being a career, they just like tell me it's not going to happen.
Wow.
So, yeah, so I just want to get that out of the way too because we were talking about that earlier, but yeah.
Yeah.
Even when we were in the band, like they like, "Oh, you guys are being too loud. You guys got to stop practicing cuz we're going to eat dinner," or whatever it was. But like shit like that, that kind of messed with me. Like it bothered me, you know?
Yeah.
Like even now they support like yeah, they support me going to college, which I just decided to do like a month ago. They support that like 100 times more than they support my music, which I've been doing since I was like 13. So it's
Damn.
just crazy. Like it definitely affects me, my like my own thoughts and stuff, my own thought process when I'm trying to complete a project or work on a project or whatever. Um, I definitely can get caught up with that feeling of like this isn't gonna go anywhere and like shit like that. Like that happens like a lot. I can't even lie. But
Yeah, I was gonna say you hear a
yeah,
lot
I mean,
about people who are like in showbiz music and
hmm
their parents are never really supportive because it's like how you can't make that into a career, go to college. Um I see that a lot of people actually take that and that's their fuel to go on and like do shit. Do you like
dude,
when
yeah.
you don't get support from your parents, is that more like does that bum you out or do you use that as fuel?
I'm gonna go like in the middle because I I'm not one of those people that like is gonna take that and be like, nah, I'm gonna show you like, oh, I'll show you like what I can do, like whatever. I don't have that confidence in like myself, even though I should. I have like all the skills and everything, but that's been like pretty much imprinted into me since I was a kid by my parents. But that's just because my dad is like super overprotective. Probably because he has like, I don't know if he has anxiety. He never goes to the doctor, so like they won't. He'll never find out. But I'm pretty sure he has something because my mom has like I don't know what they call it. It's like basically like paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
So she like will freak out about little tiny things and like I don't know. It's weird. She takes like medicine. She has to take medicine for it, but I don't know if my dad has anything like that. But he's always been super overprotective of me, especially because my brother is the type of person that would take that as fuel. So
Okay.
that's why he moved out like the second he turned 18 and like did whatever he wanted to do just because he like hated that my dad tried to stop him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, as the younger sibling, I watched all of it, and I was just kind of like, why is everything such a big deal? Like, it was just so dramatic to me, you know.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like caught in the middle of it, and now I just kind of listen to. I don't know. I don't listen to what he says, and like think he's right, but it definitely affects me now. Being 19, like I've dealt with it for a long time,
Uh-huh.
and that's why I really want to move out too. But yeah, like, so I'll be like, if I make something, if I make a beat, I go, yeah, this sounds good or whatever. Happy. I'll listen to it again, and maybe I won't be happy with it or whatever. I want to fix something, but then the more I listen to it and the more things I want to fix, the more I get that feeling of like I'm never gonna like complete this. Even when I do, nothing's gonna happen. Like it's just I don't know. It sucks, but like I don't know. I have honestly I haven't conquered it yet, but like I get better. I'm getting better at dealing with but yeah, so I have that naturally, and then I go talk to my parents about it, and then they just reinforce that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't really help, but yeah,
Yeah, it's also like an interesting dynamic between older brother, younger brother.
yeah,
Older sibling usually just figures out shit like that on their own, and as a younger sibling, you sit back and you watch, and you always have a different reaction. I feel
hmm
like
yeah,
you sit back and watch how your
Definitely.
yeah how your sibling like I know Joey, you probably have a lot to say 'cause got the older
Oh
brother,
shit.
yeah. That yeah,
and I
that'd be
had two
Yeah,
good.
older siblings growing up too.
Yeah, maybe we can
definitely a
touch on
lot
that
to say.
more in your episode.
Oh, for sure, but
I think that'd be better because then you can really go into details.
but honestly, I don't think you could say anything more facts. You definitely watch over your older siblings and learn from them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but then, when he moved out, and it's not like he did it. I don't know. I don't blame him for it by any means. Like my brother, I'm talking about, because yeah, like that's exactly what I wanted to do too when I was like 15. 'Cause I just wanted to turn 18, move out, and just be done with the whole situation. Like, because then you could just have that independence, and that's all he wanted too. So I don't blame him for it, but there's just like there's pros and cons. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a younger sibling. And I guess I'm caught, like I said, caught in the middle, and I am the younger sibling. And yeah, like I said, I haven't figured all this stuff out yet. So like, I don't have a lot to say on it, but that's just the facts. Like that's just explanation of it, you know.
All right, my apologies. So, Luke, can we dive into your first relationship?
Yeah, we can. Let's go for it.
All right. So, what started it, my man?
High school, just men in class, sort of thing.
Were you a big flirt?
No, I mean with my eyes, yes.
Ooh.
But
All right.
not as clean as you'd think.
So
Like I kind of just make eye contact.
You
And
wouldn't
then,
consider
hold it for a
yourself
second, and then break eye contact, and that's like the extent of it. That's the extent of it.
Hey, it's all right.
You wouldn't consider yourself a romantic?
Not now, but I'm working on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm working on it, but like now I can like hold a conversation. Obviously, I always could like hold a conversation. Like I just never was one to initiate the conversation.
So how old were you when you first got together?
I was 14.
Fuck. That's
So-
young.
Is it? Is that young for a first girlfriend?
I
I
mean,
mean, I don't know, not young for a first girlfriend, but that's
I
pretty
don't.
young.
Yeah,
but is it? Wait, was
It's
this
young.
was this the one that went like 3 years?
yeah. This is the 3
That's
year
the thing
one.
for like a big. That's young for like a big relationship.
Very true. I don't even want to say it went 3 years. It barely went 3 years. It shouldn't have went 3 years, but it did. Just because I was like immature and like
So
14.
take us through it. Like how did it start off and how did it progress?
Well, it started great, kinda. I guess it started, but I was kind of like the hopeless romantic type.
Oh, okay.
So I just kind of always wanted a girlfriend type shit. Again, nothing like I didn't obsess over it, but like it was just a natural like instinct, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, I think that's pretty normal to want a
Yeah.
girlfriend when you're 14. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of started like that. And so like I kind of pursued whatever would get me a girlfriend. And like I don't know, she was attractive to me at the time and stuff, so that all played like the main factors into it. And then we just started talking and shit. She came up to me because, like I said, I didn't initiate any of the conversation.
Big pussy.
Yeah, big
It's all
pussy
right.
shit. Yeah, I've grown past that now, but yeah, when I was 14, I was
Obviously, yeah.
definitely at the beginning phases.
Yes.
So didn't do shit. Yeah, but I talked so very quietly, too quietly. She couldn't hear me.
Oh my
No,
god.
Yeah, the conversation worked out. Whatever. More flirting, I guess. Hallway flirting, shit like that.
Ooh.
So then we got together. That was I don't know. That was when kind of like the shit started, bro. To be honest, like once I get feelings, it's like hard to get rid of them. And I pretty much forgive everything, and like don't worry about nothing. Like I don't see any red flags, or I didn't, especially at that time. I just thought everything was perfect always, and that was like the main issue, is I was just way too relaxed with it. But I mean, I was 14, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what most people's 14-year-old relationships are like, but she had a boyfriend like when I started talking to her, and that's a running theme
Wow.
with all of my girlfriends so far, all my exes so far. And this one, like that's like the main red flag right
Yeah.
there, and I just ignored it.
Oh my.
So, yeah, I've been Mr. Celia Girl, and I've been on the other end of it too.
Okay.
twice or shit like that. Twice, maybe 3 times. I don't even know anymore. But
Fuck.
yeah, it's just not worth it. Like if you're looking for an actual relationship.
In this relationship, you were cheated on.
Yeah, in all of my relationships I have been,
Wow.
all
The
two of them. So it's not like I've been in like 14 or something.
so the first time it happened, like, how can you remember how you felt, like right when you found out?
It was weird. I kind of got like eased into it, um, because it started with me like when I was in that like well the first start of that relationship, like the first maybe year and a half of it. I was just way too relaxed with everything. And like eventually to a girl, they lose interest if you just do the same thing all the time. Obviously, like it's just natural. But yeah, so we just kind of started losing interest. Like, but I didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm cool and like I got a girlfriend, whatever. I don't have anything to worry about. But yeah, it eventually turned into like, oh, we need to take a break, stuff like that, which never worked out in that relationship. So that's how it happened. Really, is she said that we need to take a break. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, if that's what you think, like, we can break up for like a month or whatever, 2 months or whatever. So that's what we did, but it wasn't really like we broke up. Like, we still talked like almost every day. So that was weird.
Mhm.
And then, so in my opinion, that like the break never happened. After about like 3 weeks, I'm not even thinking about it that it happened. So that's when like she cheated on me the first time. But I don't know if, like I said, like I kind of got eased into it because it's like, oh, we weren't really together, but at the same time we were,
Yeah.
but not really. I don't know. It's just weird. Like that's what I mean. It was just kind of like a shitty
Yeah,
situation.
you're not gonna feel good when you find out that.
Yeah, and I didn't find out until we got back together. So
Oh,
that also made it worse.
fuck that.
So yeah, that happened, and then I was like whatever, and then we dated for another like year or something or 7 months, something like that. And then she started having parties like every week. So I would go to them. We just have a party, whatever, at her house, and then everybody would sleep there, and then we would wake up and shit, whatever. It's just a party. And like, there's this dude that came to all of them, and he was like, all of like, there's like a group of like 10 people probably that came to all of them, and we were all friends. But I don't know. I didn't like, it wasn't like we were close friends, but whatever.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So then apparently she told me that some shit happened with his like at his house, like with his parents, and they like some shit was fucked up, so he had to like stay there for the night or something. And I was like, all right, whatever. So that I don't know. Basically, I found out she was cheating on me like every day. Like I
Fuck.
would go over there in the morning, like before school, and like say hi or whatever. And like yeah, he would leave like right before I got there in the morning,
Oh,
like every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that was kind of shitty. You know what I'm saying?
that
But
is awful, man.
But yeah, I didn't find that out until we broke up, so that's not like the biggest deal ever.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's just. I don't know if that's worse. Finding it out after the
no,
fact.
actually, that wasn't. She just came in the room and was like, I gotta tell you something. I've been cheating on you." I'm like, "Damn, okay, the fuck."
Fuck.
So that yeah, that was that relationship, and then it still went on. I still was like, whatever.
So like last episode we talked about like the codependency type shit. You think that tied in with everything?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was definitely codependency, and just like not really knowing how to love somebody
Mm-hmm.
at 14, 15. You know, like the expression "you wear your heart on your sleeve." Like
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much me. So that's what happened. I mean, that's what happens when you do that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like it's not like I did it on purpose. It just happened. Like when I don't know. I like genuinely love these people,
Mm-hmm.
like really genuinely. Like so, that kind of overruled everything,
Yeah.
which is bad, but that's just how it happened. And it's like I don't know if because I think about changing that about myself. Like maybe I shouldn't love somebody like 100%, but then it's like, well, what's the point then?
Yeah.
And then it's not like it's like you're gonna know. You're gonna know that Like you're not loving them. I don't think it's worth it for me. So which is scary. That's why I'm taking so much time in between because
Uh huh.
I didn't do that the first time and now it's like, well, I want to at least like learn from this last relationship, heal the wounds from it so I'm not like bleeding over everybody else like the next people I get with. And then once all that's done, kind of like figure out my own shit for a little bit and then I'm ready to like love somebody 100%, you know? But until then I don't think I'm ready because it's just not worth it for me anyway. Like I said I can only speak for myself, but I don't think it's worth it.
After going what you've gone through, it must be hard. Like, your perception of love must be something, and obviously
I don't know.
we all see what like the perfect love is
Yeah.
on TV and shit, and that's what everyone strives to be. But after going through stuff like that, it must be hard to believe in that sort of concept.
Um yeah, I don't know. That's definitely like in my opinion the bad train of thought. Um cuz I still want to marry somebody, but everybody's different. Some people don't want to get married, be faithful. Some people want to do whatever they want to do, and that's fine, I guess. Like whatever, that's just their how they want to live. Yeah, I definitely think like it's hard to think that sometimes. I definitely get those thoughts of like, damn, maybe what I'm thinking is like just irrelevant nowadays. Maybe nobody wants to get married and just like have the same partner forever. Not forever, but whatever till you die, essentially. Like I don't know. I just think that would be the one of the most like one of the biggest accomplishments for my life would be to find somebody that like I can really be close to because that really comes down to that thing too where like I like when I'm alone I'm like the most comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but I've definitely achieved that state with other people where I'm that comfortable when I'm around them, but like that's like an amazing feeling when you
Yeah.
get that close to somebody, you know. So that's really what I like. And if you're doing all of these like I don't know, like short relationships, you're not going to build up that feeling, that connection with somebody, you know? Like
Yeah, I completely agree
and
with
there's a
that.
lot of factors that go into it, you know. It's not just like if you're just hooking up with people, there's a connection there for sure. That's part of it, but that's not all of it, you know. And that's definitely what those people miss too, the people that are just like doing hookups all the time. I don't know, like I said I've never been that person, so I'm kind of like assuming here maybe, but in my experience I've seen those people like and they're not satisfied from it, you know. But I've never like I said I've never been that person, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but yeah, so there's a lot of factors that go into it why like I actually want to get married, but and because my parents are obviously married too still, and that obviously plays a big part in it too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know, you just have to think about it sometimes. That thought definitely comes up about like maybe nobody else is going to be like this or I'm never going to find anybody that's like this. And that I mean it's a bad thought to have because saying that is just as it's like the same as saying that you're going to find somebody, you
Mm-hmm.
know, cuz it's both just assumptions that you can't even base off of anything because like I'm 19 right now. Like I haven't even been alive for 20 years. I still have probably like 2 or 3 more 20 years to live, you know what I mean? So I can't predict what's going to happen in that time. So there's no sense in saying that it's never going to happen. And there's also no sense in saying that it is going to happen, essentially. So why not believe the better one, you know? And to bring it back to what we talked about in the first episode, that law of attraction thing is definitely, um, you have to manifest what you want in life. And it's really about everything. Like my mom has a cousin that ever since he was like 14 or 15 prayed every day for like a wife, and he had like a checklist, which is sounds crazy, but he had a checklist of things he wanted in a wife. So he was when he started dating, he was only looking for a wife, like even
That's
at the young
smart.
age. So he was just only looking for it. So like he would go on dates and stuff, and like if he would like bring out the checklist and ask them all the questions,
Oh my god. I
dude.
love that.
And if they didn't get with it and they didn't answer the questions and stuff, he'd be like, all right, no,
Dude,
next one.
I'm
Like
actually
he would
really
just
for that.
he'd be like that, and like and it's like it's selfish, maybe it's rude, maybe, but he knew what he wanted.
Well,
So then, and he prayed every day for it, and
yeah.
he believed in it. And I think they've been married for like 35 years or 20 years. I don't know, something crazy like that. So he basically
Wow.
he made it happen with his checklist,
Yeah.
found a wife. So that's pretty crazy. But I mean, I think everybody should have a checklist, you know?
Yeah.
Like not physical, not like an actual checklist, but just like a mental one when they're looking for a partner.
That's the thing. Like, it's. I think it's healthy to when you want to date someone to keep back in mind that this person that I'm dating should be a potential like husband or wife.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
otherwise you're
if
just
you're looking for
wasting.
that, yeah. I
And it
mean,
should be.
but
Otherwise you're just
that's
wasting the
something that
person's
should be
time.
upfront
Yeah.
at the start of the relationship.
Hell yeah. But you should
You know?
definitely know what each other wants before you go into it.
Yeah.
And if you want the same thing, chances are it's gonna last and it's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's like that 2 month. I feel like that's like that like 2 3 month in period, maybe 4 month sometimes where you're just like, okay, that's when you kind of find out, does this person want a long term relationship or a short term relationship?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like if they start losing interest after 2 months, like you know it's not going to work out. Like that's just bad because 2 months. Think about 20 years. Think about 1 year. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's 6 2 months in 1 year, so.
Maths. Quick maths.
Quick maths, but yeah, I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to it, how do you personally feel about how your relationships have affected you?
They played a big part in my life up to this point. Yeah, I think I said it in the first podcast. I don't remember, but yeah, I was in two long-term relationships from the time I was 14 until like August of last year. So for like 5 months now, out of like the last 5 years. So it's kind of crazy. So yeah, obviously it impacted my life a lot, but overall, I think it's good lessons moving forward. Like I'd rather learn them at 14 instead of not really 14, but like whatever, like 16, 17, 19 again. But I'd rather learn them now instead of later because later relationships after 3 years, maybe somebody, I don't know, probably not me. I probably wouldn't think about marriage after 3 years, but if I ever got into that, I want to make sure like solid. I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to go through any of that. Like pretty much my whole life. My brother went through all that already, and like that was a pretty shitty situation. What happened to him is actually worse than me in both of my relationships. But yeah, he went through the whole divorce thing, and that's just something I really do not want to have to get involved with, like ever. So I want, like I said, I'd rather learn these lessons now, so that I know what I want in a relationship, in a partner, when I reach that age.
How old is
Yeah, I
he?
can.
My brother is 24 or 25. I think he's
Wow.
24.
That's young to
Yeah.
go through that.
Well, that was probably 2 3 years ago actually. He got married when he was 19 or 20.
Jeez.
Um, they weren't even together a year. She was cheating on him before they got married.
Oh my
First of all,
fucking god, man.
the yeah, and then after they got married, obviously it still happened. And then the other part is like she worked like one part-time job, and he worked 3 jobs and went to school full time. So he was basically paying for everything.
Oh.
And yeah, after like not even a year, she just left him a note that said like um some shit about like we're getting divorced or whatever, blah blah blah. And he just came home from work and found it, and that's how we found out. And then he lost, like, yeah, she took a lot of his money,
Oh my
which sucks because she didn't
god.
do anything. She just literally got half the money because that's how divorces work. So yeah, that's a horrible thing to have to go through, especially when you're that young. And he had no idea. Like he's just like me too. He wanted a wife, obviously. She was like pushing him to marry her and shit like that. Like that's why he moved out so young, because she was like, "Oh, let's move out. Let's get a place together." Done. He does it. Oh, let's go here. Let's go on vacation. Boom. Like let's go to Mexico for our honeymoon. Honeymoon. He pays for all of it, and then yeah, she was cheating on him the whole time.
Oh my god.
And then she went on to have 2 kids with 2 different dudes. I think maybe she has 3 now. I don't even know. I don't care. But yeah. So that's what happened to my brother. That's worse. That's way worse than what happened to me.
I'm just glad that he's young and he has time to,
Dude,
find
yeah,
someone
like my
else.
brother's like the nicest person ever.
Oh my
Like literally.
God.
Like the nicest person. He's so like kind and like gentle and shit. I don't know. It's just but it sucks. Like I'm not the same way. I'm like a little more like raw, I guess. I don't know what word to use, but yeah, like people like that just get taken advantage of. That's what sucks. But people like that also find other people like that eventually and get what they want, you know?
Damn.
That's the idea anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm like really shocked with that, man. Holy shit.
Dude, yeah, that's a really bad story. I don't even like telling that story because it just sucks. Like, it's crazy what happened to him. None of us had any idea, obviously. Like, we didn't like her as a family, but we didn't tell my brother that. I don't know. My parents kind of, like, snapped at her a couple times when she came over for dinner. It's kind of funny. Because, like, she's like, yeah, we're getting a house soon. And my dad had said something like, "Oh, are you going to school?" Or like, did you decide to go to school or something like that? She's like, "No, I don't do school." And then my dad was like, "Then you don't do a house." And then she got pissed.
Oh.
And then my mom started yelling at her. It was crazy. Because my
That's
parents are like the
terrible.
most passive, like they'll never say anything that like, especially my mom. Like when my mom mentions something, you know it's like serious.
Oh my God.
It was funny though, but yeah. And then my brother, obviously, he's so nice. He just felt horrible, like for the whole thing. He was so
Yeah.
embarrassed. But yeah, so we kind of knew she wasn't a good person to marry and stuff. But we couldn't have any say in that, obviously. Well, we could have, but then it would have caused a whole other conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
but yeah, maybe it would have helped. I don't know. Probably not. It probably would have made it worse because then he would have like been all mad at my parents and stuff for bringing it up,
Mm-hmm.
and then stuck in the middle and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, now it's good between them. So, well, it was never bad, but
Mm-hmm.
like they look at, I don't know, they like check in on him and stuff a lot. So
That's good.
yeah, but that was, like I said, that was a long time ago. So he's past that, but still, it has a huge effect on a
Yeah.
person, obviously. So
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's definitely not something that anybody can take lightly, and that's fucked, bro.
mhm.
In all honesty, like that's just not right at all.
Yeah, for sure. That's just how it happens, though. I mean, it's happened to tons of dudes, tons of guys, tons of dudes, but no, tons of guys, and probably women too. I don't know, but well, yeah, obviously
For
women.
sure, yeah.
Like, I got a friend that like probably a couple months ago, like his dad just decided to leave and like told him about this whole other family, this whole other girlfriend
Oh.
that he has, and that's just like crazy because like he's 19, like that's when you decide to like, I don't know, that's
Got
just
like
weird.
half brothers and shit that you don't even.
Probably, I don't even know, but
Dude.
yeah. So it happens to women too, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just yeah, that's why I'm happy I learned these lessons, and like I can kind of identify it now. And like the best thing, I don't know, cuz I was always afraid, cuz I could see it and it always bothered the hell out of me, but I was too afraid to like end it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like I was like, "Damn, that kind of sucks." But I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I
I
was
don't
gonna ask. You think it's
I was
because fear of
yeah,
being alone?
for sure. Yeah, that's where the codependency comes in because I was afraid to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be alone, like, because I know it sucked when I was alone. It didn't suck, but this is definitely preferable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always preferred it. So That's how I've always been, but that's kind of a bad thing because eventually it's going to end up worse anyway. That's what I learned in my second relationship.
So after these two relationships, what sort of advice do you think you can offer to people? Just sort of start trying to get into relationships and how they should handle
Honestly,
stuff like
just
that.
know yourself before anything. People say that all the time, but it's so important. Like if you obviously like if you have been alone for a long time and you're comfortable, then there's nothing wrong with it. Or like as long as you're comfortable, but if you don't know yourself and you're not like confident in that and you don't have any boundaries and stuff, it's going to end badly or not how you want it to. Like I know everybody goes into relationships with different expectations, so it's kind of I'm trying to keep the advice as general as possible, but yeah, basically know yourself first. But if you know what you want, then when you see what you don't want, it's clearer to you. So
Yeah.
you can recognize what you don't want in a partner. That's really what it comes down to. It's like I want this, I want this, I want this. Loosely though, it can be as loose as you want it, but just try and understand if you're expecting like a long-term relationship and something doesn't line up with what you want, like the three core things of what you want, there might be some conflict there. And honestly, the number one thing is like communication. That's obvious. So if there's a problem, instead of being scared to talk about it because you don't want to cause a problem, talk about it and cause the problem where you're both in the room and you can both like talk freely to each other about what's going on versus just not talking about it until it builds up to the point where you both know about it, but neither one of you are bringing it up. You're just kind of avoiding it because that's the worst. Because at that point, you're losing connection with that person and you're kind of like making the relationship toxic to each other almost. And not like super badly, but it's going to become a problem the more and more the longer you sit on it basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, and honestly, if it's something that's going to outright not make the relationship work out, just confront that and be okay with that because you know yourself and you know you're comfortable with yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like don't pursue a relationship just to be in a relationship. Don't pursue it just because you're afraid to be alone because you're not going to. That's what I did and it ended up hurting me way more if I just was alone. So there's something to be said about knowing what you want, knowing what you need as a person. Like if I need to be alone right now, I'm gonna cut this off because it's obviously not what I'm looking for right now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're just looking for codependency, like trauma bond type shit, like where you're just in that relationship because it makes you feel better about yourself or whatever, and it doesn't really fulfill anything you want, like just end it because either you're going to take it too seriously or the other person is going to, and it's just going to end badly for both of you. So it's better to just be mature about it and confront the problems right away instead of letting it build up.
Very well said.
Kind of.
No, I really like that.
Nah, bro, you're a great speaker.
Thank you. I appreciate it, my
Wow.
man.
I think that's gonna hit really good with a lot of people because a lot of people go through these sort of things on the daily, and people you don't even expect,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
So I think this message is really gonna hit with a lot of
Yeah. I
people.
mean, that's the idea of the podcast, you know?
Oh shit, we're doing a podcast.
Whoa, what?
Oh,
There's
forgot
a
about
hidden
that.
camera right there. No,
What the
there's no
fuck?
cameras
One day.
at all. Maybe, yeah. That'd be cool.
Let's wrap this up with some sort of deep questions, some sort of Q&A questions.
Hmm.
We had a lot to talk about so far today, and started off a little bit rough, but I think we picked it up pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy with it.
Or what would you consider your biggest failure, and what have you learned from it?
Um, my biggest failure, honestly, probably just not taking myself seriously. And I can kind of, well, that's not really a failure. But it's kind of like a general thing I've failed at over the years. Um, like, and it apply. I think this is my biggest failure. I'll just explain this because I think it applies to everything in my life. So it's not just one situation that happened to me, because I consider that like a mistake. You know, you kind of just learn from it and move on. But a failure is like something that's going to cause a bigger problem. So yeah, that's why I chose this. But my biggest failure would be, yeah, not taking myself seriously, like in situations that come to me, whether it's the relationship or something with my parents or whatever. I like don't have enough confidence in myself to present to people like what I want to present, like what I'm actually doing. It's really hard to explain for me. I never like put it into words, but like basically everybody like wears a mask, and that's like the most common analogy is like a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put on like a fake smile or whatever. It doesn't have to even be that emotion, but like basically it's like a filter, I think, is a better analogy, because everything that comes out of that is filtered with that
Mm-hmm.
like mask. So every encounter I have with another person is filtered with something that isn't like 100% true to myself. And like that's something I always wanted to, like I always hated.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gives me a bad feeling, but like I have to do it to be comfortable pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's another thing about this podcast is I'm trying to be as like unfiltered, like as raw as possible. Um and just keep it down to like facts, because I don't know, if I was up here like worrying about everything and like filtering what I said, then I don't think like anything would really come out of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I was holding stuff back. So, but yeah, that's my biggest failure, is just not being 100% honest with myself. And then once I'm honest with myself, I can become comfortable with myself. And once I'm comfortable with myself, I can be comfortable with other people too. So
Yeah.
it's like stepping stones for me. So that's my biggest failure. But I'd say I'm probably, I don't know. I'm getting better with it. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
it's never linear, and it's never like a constant progression, but it's definitely something I've been working on and accumulating progression over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice. This podcast is just about being real, and I think
yeah,
that'll help with that.
yeah. I mean, that's definitely what I'm trying to convey with this podcast, is just real information. It doesn't really matter who's listening. It doesn't matter who's saying it. Just information that I've learned, that we've learned,
Mm-hmm.
that people we have on the show have learned. I don't know. It's just something good to listen to for whatever, an hour. Um, just ideas, just things to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think the podcast goal is as a collective.
All right. Let's take it on a more positive note. What's your biggest achievement so far? And if you don't really have one, like, what do you hope to achieve pretty soon, within like the next 10 years?
Biggest achievement, I would say, I don't know. I'm proud of what I've accomplished with music and what I am able to accomplish. I'm definitely proud of that. So I would say, well, not only am I proud of what I've done so far, but I also have some big hopes and expectations for what I'm going to be able to do. So I would say that's my biggest accomplishment right now, which is kind of weird and like boring, but I don't know. I think my biggest accomplishment is how far I've come with music, and how like I feel accomplished with the quality
Mm-hmm.
of the music I can produce.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting better. So yeah, eventually I want to be able to produce quality like music with lyrics too. But like I said, I'm working towards it. So
All right, Luke, this one's gonna make you ponder for a second.
all right.
So, if you had any guidance for the teens of the world right now, what is your word of advice?
Oh.
One word. Do I have some more words?
I mean,
Or do
yeah,
I
you
have
got more
one?
words. It's fine. You got whatever
A
words.
phrase. A
I'm just kidding.
phrase. A
Um,
sentence. Maybe 2 sentences.
honestly, like,
Keep it under a paragraph.
okay, it'll be one really long run-on sentence. Anyway, I would say just start taking yourself seriously. Start thinking about your body. Start thinking about your health. start thinking about your mental state, like your mentality. It might be cool to be sad in high school, but it's not going to be cool forever.
Oh my god, that's like the truest statement.
Dude,
Holy shit.
dude, remember that phase? Everybody was like talking about how depressed they were, and
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna go
oh
to
my
school
God,
and pretend
life
to be
sucks,
sad today and see who cares.
yeah, I'm gonna be sad today because whatever.
Oh
But
my
it's not cool
god.
forever, because eventually you're actually gonna be sad, and that's gonna suck.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, just start thinking about all of those things. You know, a lot of, I don't know, it might not be manly, it might not whatever, but who cares? I think it's I think it's if you're smart enough, if you're like not smart, but if you take yourself seriously, that's what I keep saying. But then you're gonna think about these things seriously, and then you're gonna plan your life seriously. You know, for something that you want. So yeah, just think about that. Think about what you
Yeah.
want and go from there.
Ooh,
You
I
banged
like
it with that answer. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, to end it all off, Luke, the day that you die and you got your gravestone and you're at the people at your funeral, what do you want people to remember you by? Like, how do you want to be remembered?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it really simple with this one. My main goal in life, and like my most traditional, just this is just my natural instinct, is to have a family. So, I want to have kids. Basically, I want to have a wife, and I want to be remembered as a good father and a good husband. And that's pretty much all I can really say for that because that's what comes first for me. Um, I mean, obviously not right now. I don't have
Yeah.
kids and I'm not like in a relationship, but that would be considered my biggest accomplishment in my life when I get to that point would be my kids. Um, I've always looked up to like when movies or TV or whatever when I see somebody like fathering somebody. I've always looked up to that and just thought that's like the most like I'm gonna say like the most manly thing ever is just being like a good father and like a good husband to me is the most like I don't know what the word is, heroic I guess thing you can do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met people at previous jobs and stuff who have kids and stuff like that. One of my good friends actually, he has a couple kids, and like yeah, I explained that to him too because I don't know, he was talking to me about something about with his kids, and I'm like, or how he was like proud of them or something. I'm like, that's literally all you. Like that's you raising them right. You know what I mean? And that's like the best thing you can do as a man, in my opinion. Again, but that would be my biggest accomplishment, and that's what I would want to be remembered by. I would want to be remembered by my kids and their success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's again just to keep it as simple as
Yeah.
possible, because that's number one, and that's all I think I can even say for that.
Wow.
So yeah,
It has been an honor and a pleasure, Luke.
thank you. It has been the same.
Absolutely.
Learned a lot, not only about you, but just about the sort of morals you have and
Hmm.
views you have, and it's really interesting. A lot of people are going to resonate with it and agree with you, hopefully, and if not, they'll get with it.
Yeah,
They'll become
I mean,
woke.
I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but
No, man, like
I'm
I
not worried
really
about it.
resonate with everything you said today, and it's
Mhm.
definitely something that I want to take to my life as well. And I hope
Yeah,
other
for
people
sure.
too.
Hopefully, other people can relate to that too. Yeah, like you said.
I hope you guys enjoyed this very interesting podcast. Next episode, Joey, we're gonna learn about you.
No, not doing that.
Get ready for that shit.
We don't do that here.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode 2 of the Eager Podcast. We'll be back for more. Thank you.
Hell yeah, make it a good ass week, everybody.
Oh yeah. Constructive criticism as always. Like, comment,
Oh
subscribe.
yeah, we need
Goodbye.
comments. Leave more comments.
More
please.
comments. More comments about how I say.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
He forgot.
I forgot what it was.